What's going on, guys? We are back, and Training in the Clouds is gone. No! Once again, they have removed the Training in the Clouds event. As we are coming to the end of the GDC celebration here, moving on to the next things, they have taken that gift away from us once again, and I am going absolutely insane about it. I just think that, link leveling has been a thing for long enough. I really think coming somewhat soon, it would be nice if we had a designated link leveling event in the game permanently that was, matching the link level rates of some of these crazy celebration events. Like the Training in the Clouds event has a link level rate of 7. That's equivalent to the Master Roshi event that we get to play daily, which obviously doesn't count because it's limited to only 2 runs per day. But yeah, so I'm really hoping, and like the Natade's Village event that happened before, I believe was around the same link level rate as well. That one might have been a little bit lower, but these events have been sticking around, and I do like what they're doing with the Dokkan Day thing, where on the 15th and 30th we get that basically a pseudo copy of the Training in the Clouds event, because it also has a link level rate of 7. We get that aside along some other benefits that the stage gives you, but that's only twice a month. I really just can't wait for it to be something that's available to us every single day. Kind of reminding me of what they've done here, like with the Whis event, how they eventually just revamped this to be something you can grind infinitely, and the trade-off that they gave you is, well, it's kind of twofold, right? The main trade-off that they hid here was that the it's really hard to get good equips through this event because they're super hyper ultra rare. So you're gonna have to do hundreds of runs in order to get like multiple copies of some of the really strong equips in here. So that's kind of the pseudo nerf of this event. But obviously nerfing the quality of the event you wouldn't really do, because that's what they're already doing with quest stages, right? For link leveling. They are infinitely farmable, but they're nerfed because the link level rates aren't quite as good. So I guess that's kind of the same thing they've done here. But if you were to keep that link level rate of 7, then I think something else you could do to help, balance it out so that the event that's always around isn't as good as the ones that come during major celebrations. Make it cost more stamina. Make a 7, an event with a link level rate of 7 where you jump in and it's just the one fight, so it's the same as those other events, but then make it, I don't care, make it cost 100 stamina to play one. So I just give players an option, I think would be a really cool thing. So the reason why I am so hard-pressed about getting a good link level event is because I'm getting kind of close to another really big benchmark. So this is kind of, aside from me just complaining about the event being gone and me being sad over it, the other reason why I wanted to make this video is to just kind of give you guys an update where I'm at with my link leveling journey here. So unfortunately, I wasn't recording videos at the start of the GDC, so we couldn't see quite where I was at, but I want to say I was upwards of 500 characters left, closer to 600, I believe. And we got all the way down to below 200 left, just in the one celebration. Like, even less so, because the Training in the Clouds event wasn't even live the entire celebration, right? It was from July 16th all the way until August 22nd. So a little over a month. But yeah, that's, I think we made out like a bandit, honestly. We did very well here. There is not that much left. As you can see, we have a chunk of these Hercule Boos. Looks like about almost 30 left of those now. We did farm up 100 originally when we did this. I talked about this in my last power level update video, but farming up the 100 of these guys was just something that I did to have something to spend my reels on for support memories. I would just use the, oolong support memory and stuff to farm these guys up. But then once I got 100 of them, I realized how quickly I could farm these, and I just stopped farming them, because I was like, okay, it's going to take me a long time to get through these 100. There's no reason to keep farming more of them, especially because I was at a crossroads of deciding that, once I'm done with all of these characters in my box, am I going to quit link leveling? Am I going to move on to some other endgame grind in Dokkan? Or am I going to jump back to being a more casual player now that I don't need to be on Dokkan all day, every day? Either way, I could continue to make content. But I think, over stirring about it these last couple of weeks, I think the real answer here is going to be to keep link leveling. Especially because I do want to keep up that motivation to continue making content, and I think staying locked into the link level grind is something that really keeps me in a mind space of being like focused on YouTube and stuff. And you know, it might seem a little bit silly to say. It's probably not the most true. I'm sure there are a lot of people that would disprove this easily, but it feels like one of the, you know, things that draws people toward my content and my YouTube channel in the first place is this, right? You know, I don't have a major amount of subscribers. I'm not able to post super consistently to be able to, you know, create like a full Dokkan Battle encyclopedia of the game like people like The Truth do and stuff. So I think that that's one of the appeals of my account, is just seeing how absolutely cracked my power level is based on the unit manipulation in my box, you know, through link leveling. So as you can see here, I still have about 1,200 box space free, ready to, you know, collect characters from. So once we get through the last chunk that we've got here, only 176 characters, then we're going to be moving on to this grind here. So we're going to be moving on to this grind here. This team right here is made up of all free-to-play characters that have extra links because they have some type of transformation or exchange in their final form, making them have 2 different named characters on their card, just giving them a plethora of extra links, right? So all of these units are the best for that. As you can see, 4 out of the 6 of these units are on Majin Buu Saga, so it works out pretty well to just have him as your leader. Now, there is something I'm considering here. So, first of all, to go over how many links each of these guys actually has. So the Hercule and Buu has the most with 13, because 6 of the 7 get replaced with the transformation there. So 13 links on Hercule Buu. Let's see, the Saiyaman 1 and 2, looks like they've got 10 links, an extra 3 there. And then same deal with this. Oh, he actually has 11 links. He's got the extra 4 when he transforms to Majin Vegeta. Okay, this guy has 10 as well. Okay, so he's got the extra 3. And this is funny because it's actually a turn 1 transformation. So interesting that he gets the separate links, even though you can never actually use the card as the other portion of the kit, you know? Okay, and then these guys are also tied for first because the Krillin swapping into Vegeta obviously changes a lot of their links there, so they have 13 as well. And then the worst one on the list is this guy right here. This is the only other free-to-play unit that gives more than 7 links, I believe, and it's going to be 2 extra, so not very many. So, basically what the idea is here is just to go and farm up hundreds of copies of every single one of these. In fact, with the amount of box space that I have left, it would be 240 copies of each of these, on top of what I've already got in my box. So the 100 here don't count, right? Just on my remaining box space alone, we would need to go farm up 240 of each of these, and then we'd be ready to go. Now, I don't think that's going to be too hard to do initially. The struggle with that, there's a couple of things. So the first thing is that all of these events are tied to story, or all of these units are tied to story events that only come back around once in a while, and none of them are live right now. So yeah, that's a little bit weird, a little bit tough, because I mean, I do have a lot of story keys. Let's see if there's some right here I could buy and just show the, no, okay. I do have a lot of story keys. I guess let's just jump to the Portal of Memories, and I'll show you how many I've got here real quick. I think it's in, like, the 2000s. Yeah, so 2,300-ish. So not terribly low, but I don't think that that's going to be enough for me to just go farm, you know, 1,200 characters real quick. So that being said, I'm probably gonna have to wait for a decent chunk of these events to come back to be able to fully grind these guys out. Now, what I'm hoping is that these 2,000 keys that I have here will at least allow me enough leeway to, like, once I finish the characters in my box, to start farming up copies of these cards, and then at least get enough farmed up that I can hold off and continue to still link level with them until these events return, and then I can just go, you know, go apeshit and farm up as many of them as I need and just basically get all 240. So we did mention that some of these units, or a lot of those units, were on Majin Buu Saga. 4 of the units are on Majin Buu Saga, so it's very likely that those 4 events are going to come back all at the same time. So I'm really, really hoping for a Buu Saga themed something or other. That way all of these events will return, and then you know, and then I would be able to farm them. Now, if this upcoming celebration actually ends up being a Daima theme, the Daima series is basically a continuation of the Buu saga. So yeah, that could potentially be a thing, right? Like, if it is Daima, then all of these Buu saga events coming back, I could see it happening. So maybe we'll get lucky with that. Now, the one other thing that I was considering with this is we could farm all 6 of these cards. And obviously, having 6 units that you're link leveling at a time will be the quickest possible way you can link level. You know, just because you're working on the most amount of units that you can. I was also considering doing something else. It would ultimately elongate the power level grind even further by a little bit, but it would also make it so that my power level ultimately in the end is higher. Now, what I'm considering doing is not actually farming up this Gohan and Goku card because it offers the least amount of links, getting rid of this one, and then replacing my leader with just like Tech Go tanks or something. Just giving myself like a full 200% Majin Buu Saga buff. That way it'll be a little bit quicker to get through each link level stage. And then also I would only be farming 5 cards, but they are going to be, you know, they'll have more links available than this guy. So now we would be looking at maybe me getting like, what, 300 of each of these cards instead of just the 240. Maybe that's an over-exaggeration. Maybe it's only like 260, 280. I don't know. Not thinking of the math correctly, but it's all right. So yeah, getting, you know, that many of them on each of these guys, and then I'd have an overall higher power level, but it would probably just take me longer to get there since I'm only link leveling 5 units at a time instead of a full 6. But again, I'm going to be killing the enemies a little bit quicker, because with all of these guys, you know, potentially SA1 and 0% in the dupe system as I'm farming them up, maybe SA10, we'll see, but definitely not going to open their dupe paths or anything, because I'm not planning on putting potential orbs into any of these guys for a very, very long time. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to like keep up with keeping them rainbowed while I'm link leveling them and stuff, right? So basically the point is that all these guys, uneasy aid, you know, completely free to play, no hidden potential investment, they're not going to be killing the enemies when I'm link leveling. The fact that they're URs just means that they're going to barely be scraping by, not getting KO'd probably in some of these most recent quest stages. So I don't know. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do there. But yeah, I think it will be a little bit more comfy of a strat if I have 200% leads on either side, just to make sure that I have enough HP pool, to make sure that they've got enough defense not to get one shot by normal attacks and things like that, and then also to make sure I have one extra unit around so I have a little bit quicker of an RNG of that unit that's going to show up on rotation to actually be able to defeat the enemy and end the run for me, right? So I think that's probably going to be the strat. The more I talk about it and think about it, I think that's probably going to be the best way to go. So yeah, these 4 are Majin Buu Saga cards that will carry the team as a Majin Buu Saga team, and then we'll definitely be adding the Krillin and Vegeta because they have so many links, right? So yeah, ultimately that's the idea. That's where we're going to get to eventually once we finish link leveling. But for now, we have to face what is left in our box here. Might as well give you an update on where my power level is at. We're at 23.5. So definitely still climbing. At the very beginning of the GDC, we were at, I want to say like a solid 21 million or something like that. So we did jump quite a bit. We had a pretty good bout of link leveling here. Now, obviously I didn't link level quite as hard as I could have. Just between kind of playing the JP side of the game, getting back into recording YouTube content always takes a little bit, and then there's just some other things that I've been doing with my life that have been taking a little bit of focus and attention away from link leveling. Not like I stop it entirely, it's just it goes a little bit slower, right? For instance, another game that I love to play these days is called Dead by Daylight. And while I'm playing that game, because it is not a turn-based game, but there's a lot of live action happening while you're playing, sometimes my link level run will be sitting there finished and I'm being chased by a killer, so I can't really, like, you know, stop what I'm doing on the PC to address my phone. So things like that, but yeah, we're still chugging along. So let's go ahead and switch to the web view. We'll take a look at the power level leaderboard really quick. So this is what it's looking like post GDC here. Again, everything looking very, very stagnant. The gap up at the top here is closing. It is closing. I think we have, or at least are nearing the point where Sakura Fire and Runo have again reach their box space limit. Because remember, a couple of months ago, everybody got 300 box space because they upped the original, or like the, you know, new player box space used to be 200, and they upped it to 500. So that brand new player starting the game for the first time would have a base default of 500 box space. So in doing that, they retroactively added box space to everyone else. So that meant that these top Japanese players that were out of box space that could no longer link level got an extra chunk, and they went at it again. But I'm pretty sure they're getting close to done again at this point, and DeTruth especially. I think he's opted to even keep some extra spots in his box. He has not been, because like obviously these guys are just like farming the crap out of free-to-play characters, like I just explained we're about to start doing. But DeTruth has definitely not been doing that. So with the extra 300 he was given, he's just been summoning, and then over time as he collects new units, he's adding to it. So I would assume he has the most box space left of any of the three of these players. Actually, probably not Nagi. I would assume Nagi has the most box space left. Because Nagi has been doing the strat that they're doing of farming up a lot of free-to-play cards, this like basically exact team that I showed you. And he is basically around the same power level as Truth, so he's probably got millions more to climb. But yeah, DeTruth definitely not. So before long, this is the closest I've ever been to DeTruth's power level. Before long, hopefully we will be there. Obviously, again, the grind is going to slow down because the good event is gone. But yeah, it shouldn't be too long. A couple more months and we're definitely going to be above DeTruth. I'm hoping that by the time we get those 167 characters done in my box, that we will be above him. I wonder if we could do some quick math on that. Let's see. So 167 characters. Each of them have 7, like the average character has 7 links. The problem with this, here, let me go back into game. Character list, link level. Okay, so the problem with this is that if we look at this, I have quite a few SRs left to link level, and a lot of these don't have more than 5 links, 4 links. Looks like all the ones I have left have 5 links. Okay, except like 1 or 2 of them had 4 links. Okay. Because some of the SRs historically that I've link leveled have had like 2 links. So that gets really, really slim at that point, right? And then same deal with the SSRs. There are quite a few here, and then a lot of them are going to have like 6 at the most, 4, 5, right? A couple of them have 7, but it is a lot less. And there's 84 of those, right? And then when it comes to URs, we have 72. Half of them are basically going to be these Hercule and Boos, but they have 13 links. So because of all of that, I'm just going to average and say 7 links per unit, just to be fair. It's probably slightly different than that, but if we were to multiply this, if we were to multiply this by 7, then we get 1,000. Oh, I guess we should then multiply that by 1,000 to get the actual score you're getting from each of the links. 7 links, 1,000 points per each link. So that would get me at just over 1 million. I'll be at 24.5 by the time I'm done with the units in my box. I'm assuming it's going to be a little higher than that. What does it look like if we do 8? If we do 8 links. So what was it? Oops. It was 1169. Oops. I am pressing all the wrong buttons. 1169 times 8,000. Oh, that was with the 7. Wait. Hold on. Let me just... No, I didn't mean to click that. Let me just do this differently. Okay, let me go back to the beginning here. I was trying to take a shortcut. Okay, so times 8,000. There we go. This is the right number. It only gets us a little bit more. Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. It's only going to get you, like, 167k more, right? Because 167, we added 1 link. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. But yeah, so somewhere around there, we're gonna be, the point is, by the time I'm done with this grind, and this is what I realized, is that I'm gonna be right below DeTruth. To the point where it's like sniffing distance. Like, dude, there's no way I could stop at that point and then just be coasting right behind him. And this does make sense because I think he's got about 3,800 characters, closing in on like 4,000, or yeah, closing in on 4,000 characters at this point, because his max box space right now is, I believe, is 3,940 exactly. And then obviously we can see here I've got 3,500, so I still do have a couple hundred characters left that I would need to start farming up in order to catch up to his power level, or the amount of, just match the amount of units he's working with. So yeah, but we're gonna get there soon enough. So the last thing that I want to talk about before we end the video here is, you can see the sparkles for it. You can see an ad for it at the bottom of the screen here, the World Tournament. Dokkan did us really dirty on this one. So, currently, right now, it is, what do we got? It's like 4 p.m. on Friday, August 22nd. Now, the World Tournament started last night, Thursday, August 21st at 11:30 p.m. PST. So, the reason this sucks, the reason they're dumb for doing this, is because they did not make the Training in the Clouds event scheduled to go away until 8 a.m. Until 8 a.m. on Friday, which means there was an 8.5 hour period on Global, and I think it was like a 7-hour period or something like that on JP, where both events were live. That's so cruel, especially because it's the very, very end of when you're going to be able to grind in the Training in the Clouds, so it's that last push for people, and then you drop a World Tournament in the middle of it? Are you kidding me? So yeah, I absolutely was not having that. So what I did was I decided, for a couple of different reasons, this, though, being the main one, that I wasn't going to grind the World Tournament this time. I am not going to be shooting for a super, super high score, you know, or like chasing top 1 local or top 1,000, top whatever to get potential orbs, which is what I normally do. I am this time just going to probably be putting in the 23 million points and skedaddling after that. I don't think it's going to be worth much. In fact, I should fully make this decision on this video right here, so let's go ahead and pull up the, like the World Tournament rewards on the wiki, and then we can maybe make our decision about that from here. Like where we might want to try to aim to place. Okay, here we go. So yeah, normally what I would shoot for is like a top 200, top 500 type of thing. If things are going well, then maybe up here in these rankings. This is probably just not going to happen this time. I do have work on Saturday and Sunday, so that's going to be a little bit tough for me, especially because I do work in the evening on Sunday. So basically before work on Sunday, I'm going to have to be done in the last few hours of the World Tournament. I'm not going to be able to grind. So if I'm like neck and neck with whoever's you know, first and second and local with me, then they're probably just going to have those hours to pass me up. So it just doesn't feel worth to push that really hard for a grind when I know in the end I'm not going to be able to defend it when it really comes time to count, you know? So yeah, I don't know. The main thing, okay, so I believe with the local rankings, that's where we get the Satan signatures. That's the main thing I'm worried about getting. I'm also checking the tickets here. Everything else I'm not really concerned with. Again, I know I'm probably not going to get top 1,000, but I just want to see how bad the ticket drop-off is. It's not even bad, yeah. Okay, you're getting the exact same amount of tickets here as reward if you get top 2,000 than if you get top 1,000. The only difference between the prize pools here is the potential orbs get added at top 1,000. So yeah, I think I would be fine to shoot for just top 2,000. This is probably what I'm going to end up going for. Yeah, because then at under top 2,000 in the top 5,000 bracket, you lose a World Tournament ticket here. So yeah, top 2,000 is probably where I'm going to shoot for. And then if things are going really, really well, it would be top 500 would be the next goal, right? Okay, but yeah, good to know with that. And then as far as the local rankings, because like I said, I do want to get these Satan signatures. Okay, I guess you don't get less until you're 4th through 10th. I think, again, this is probably where I'm going to end up ranking. The top 3 is going to be tough. I believe in my local bracket already, there's people who have already gotten like 40, 45 wins. So people are grinding. I think I probably do have a couple of heavy grinders that I'm not going to be able to keep up with. So I'm going to let them take the lead here. And then I will be, you know, probably just going for like 4th through 10th. I have gotten 1st place every single time this Grandpa Gohan has been available, so I've been getting my 2 copies of him a lot. In fact, if we go back to, we can take a look at my Grandpa Gohan setup here. Let's see. Yeah, so, managed to get him rainbowed here, and then his TUR, I believe, is at 79, yeah, okay. So, we have been getting, I guess that means it's only been 2 World Tournaments, because I will have pulled 2 copies of him twice in a row, and I believe I would have already had him rainbowed from the original, you know, his original release. So yeah, I guess I'm okay just getting the 1. Obviously, it'd be cool to get the 2 and then rainbow the TUR, but again, we still need a bunch more copies beyond that, so we'll get them over time. It's totally fine. But yeah, that's where we're sitting at. We might as well, let's go ahead and look in here, and I can show you exactly what my local ranking looks like and stuff. Okay, let's see. We'll go ranking. Obviously, I don't really care about the major ones. I haven't done much grinding at all yet. Like I said, I did link level all night. I did stay up all the way until 8 a.m. That was another point I forgot to make, was that I wanted to get all the training in the clouds grinding I could get in. So I stayed up all the way until 8 in the morning to finish grinding on that. And then I figured I would take that as the opportunity to grind the world tournament on JP. Because it's really, really hard to grind both, you know, world tournaments on both versions. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the first place person is at 40 wins right now. So I don't know, we'll see. It's also really tough to tell on the first day because the other people that are lower on these ranking lists have just gone for their 30 wins, right? Like, these players are probably just going to be stopping at 30 wins, a lot of them. So we're going to have to wait until Saturday, Sunday to see the 9-to-5ers that are working these days and aren't really playing. That's when they pick up and then, you know, things take off. So we'll see, we'll see. Okay, yeah, so that's enough with that one. But yeah, so I finished grinding the JP World Tournament just to get my 20 million there. And then now we are gonna get started with the Global World Tournament. I just wanted to make this video first because I just did wake up and get my day started. So yeah, this is the Training in the Clouds is gone farewell video. I guess this is complete. There's nothing else I really needed to rant about with it. I just kind of wanted to talk about the specific state of things and how, like, my skin is itchy right now, and I just want to link level. But we are gonna unfortunately have to take a couple of day break because of the World Tournament. So we are gonna get finished up here and get right back into grinding on the World Tournament. So I will see you guys there. Let me know how your guys' grinding went with the Training in the Clouds. Oh, actually, wait. There is one more thing I need to show you related to that. The Proof of Masteries. I didn't even remember to do that. So I guess I can cut here if this shows something it's not supposed to, but this should probably be fine. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so this was a screenshot I took. You can see July 17th was the original date of the photo. So right, the next morning after the Training in the Clouds event had released, and we could see I had 126,000 Proof of Mastery at the very beginning of that, and you can see all the stuff that was available in the shop has not yet been purchased here. And then now you can see I have 200,000. So we collected a solid 80,000 of this currency. And one thing you have to remember is that each run will drop you like 1, 3, 5, or 9 Proof of Mastery. And then your drop rate bonus allows you to get duplicates of whatever that drop was. But for the drop rate bonus, mine was never over 100, ever, during the whole GDC. Because the teams that I were grinding were not Battle of Fate. I wasn't really, like, focusing on Battle of Fate, and most of the Battle of Fate characters that I had left to grind were, like, SSRs and SRs that were giving me, like, 20 and 30%, bonus to the drop rate of these things. So basically, think about it, like, I was getting literally, like, an average of, like, 7 or 8 per run, and I managed to get 80,000. So yeah, I did play this quite a bit. And then that's also on top of me having purchased literally every single thing in this shop, except for the Z swords. That's the only thing I didn't, sell out. Just because I literally can't buy them anyway. They're fully maxed out for me. So, yeah, did pretty good on that front. So yeah, let me know how your guys' grind went with the Training in the Clouds, all your thoughts and opinions and feelings on link level events, and if you think that it should return, be permanent, if you hope it comes back during the next celebration, yada yada yada. And then also good luck in your World Tournament grinding coming up here, and I'm about to get started with that right now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace!